Well, today is Friday, and last night it snowed just enough to blow all the worst drifted spots shut again. So we've been pushing through with the tractor ahead of the feed truck. The road maintainers are back out at it, but they can only get everywhere so fast. But everyone's trying to take care of each other. And I don't know how much old snow is blowing or if it's just the new stuff, but it's blowing.
Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the three Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video.
Yeah, it's blustery cold, so that's the difference between today and the big snow day. Now we are at like 8 degrees this morning with a strong north wind. It's supposed to keep getting colder.
Got a whole chop for the cows here in the ice. It's about 10 degrees, wind chill in the negatives, blowing snow. Alright, now the cows are getting a drink of water after I broke the ice. There's the cows. Right by my house here in the windbreak. Gonna get them fed. Got them watered. What do you think, Brighton? Is it cold outside? Cows fed. Plus the sun's out. A lot nicer today than it was this morning.
Closing the S&S power lift door for the night. The equipment worked well today. Time for it to seal up. Keep all that warm air in here. Alright, so the M7 fired right up. It's -1 this morning and not near as windy as yesterday, so that will make much more pleasant. Yesterday it was like 6 or 7 degrees, but very windy, 30-mile-per-hour gusts. My dad's feeding one of his pens. He's still feeding up here. Transitioning. All my cattle are fed now. I'm just doing waters. Over here to check, make sure the heater came on this one. Looks like this one's heater's on, so it's good. That means the heating unit that's down there.
Cows happy to see me. Wildcat basketball on the air. They're out picking, but I got a nice yummy bale and some distillers for you. There's some deep snow out in all those stalks.
We're getting another bale fed to these cows here at my house because there's not enough food out here that's not covered by snow, and also the cold temperatures means the cows have to eat more to stay warm. So we've been bringing them a bale a day, as well as chopping ice for them using this bale bed here on the flatbed. It's able to haul 2 bales at once. We've got one here, and then Nathan set 1 bale right over there. Are you cold? They're going for the distillers.
Okay, doors up, tractor's in. So this one has electricity to it, and it's still, I think it has a heating element under there, but it still froze up. I'm pouring hot water on it. Get that trickle, pick up the pace. The water's actually steaming on the metal because the metal's hot. Oh! Right on. So that water will fill until that black float is pushed up. And then when the black float gets pushed up high enough, when the water level's high enough, it'll turn off the water. So that valve just got a little too cold overnight. And I'll put this lid back on. Now these cattle have water again. They're up at the bunk eating. I don't know how long it was off overnight, but they'll have water after they finish eating. It's a Sunday morning. My mirror fount waters are all open. I kicked them. The lids, the bulbs of them are frozen, but I kicked them, and they're all open. I think I'm gonna make it to church, but things are going okay on my end.
Is it pretty cold outside? Brighton, is it cold outside?
Sub-zero temperatures, raising cattle in Kansas means...
Okay, Nathan's about to be on the radio.
It's cold. Nathan Peterson, the Peterson Farm. Nathan, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. How are you? We're doing just fine. It's a little cold out there today. Worldwide famous. You guys, you still have to work. It's not just thinking all the time. You still have to work those cows, right? That's right. That's right. We always something to be done. What's the secret? Do you have to feed cattle more silage when it's this cold to keep them warm and keep them the weight right? Is there? How do you do that?
You know, they burn a lot of energy keeping warm, and that's the key is keeping feed and water in them to, they're ruminant animals, and that process inside of them creates a lot of heat. So when it gets colder, they tend to eat a little more. You just want to keep that going to keep them warm.
That farm family, that community really comes shoulder to shoulder when it's like this, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, everyone with the animals, you know, they prepare ahead for these type of things, but sometimes, you know, you need to check on your neighbors and make sure, you know, everything's running fine, and there were definitely a few pickups with hay stuck in snowdrift this past week that, you know, the closest tractor just kind of tries to come and pull them out and keep them going where they need to go.
Yep.
I mean, you can go all the way up into Nebraska and there's cows out on cornfields, and if they have feed, you know, they bundle together, and the best thing is to have a wind break for them, but they're pretty amazing animals and well adapted to a wide range of weather.
Attaboy, Nathan!
You guys got any gigs coming up, or is it just too busy this time of year, you and your brothers?
We do have some gigs, so we try to travel with just 2 out of the 3 of us, because especially this time of year, Dad doesn't want to be left home alone, you know.
Exactly.
So Greg and I actually have something in Mississippi on Wednesday this week, so hopefully we'll have everything under control by then.
Well, my dad got his wagon loaded. Nathan usually loads the feed truck during this time, but he was doing the radio interview. A lot of the stuff we get to do on these cold days is in a cab with a heater. I'm actually so hot wearing all the clothes I'm wearing that I can't run my heater in my tractor, otherwise I'll start sweating. So I go with no heater whenever I'm wearing this many clothes. Last night, however, I had to change the float and I had to get my hands wet and reach down in the tank, and my hands were freezing, and I was glad it was at the end of the day and I could just go right inside and eat supper afterwards, because I needed my hands. I washed them with hot water when I got inside, because that was cold, much colder than sitting out of the wind in a cab. This one not only now, this ball they weren't even drinking out of, so it had frozen up 2 days ago. They were drinking out of this one, and this water was pumping out water fine, but now I'm gonna have to take this lid off. So So I have to thaw this lid out and open it up and pour hot water on the valve till it comes on, because there's no water pumping in this one. Okay, so just like the one last night, opened it up down to the valve float. I'm guessing they drank it all the way down and then the float just froze while it was all the way down there. So I'm gonna try pouring water on this part without taking it apart. Cattle are the tamest, calmest when they want something from you. So they want this water. They come right up and sniff me. They're thirsty. Although they cleaned up all their feed last night, so they weren't out of water for too long. Okay, we got it. So it took just under 2 gallons of water coming out of that valve. It'll fill and lift that ball, or it'll lift that float. And then as it lifts that float, it'll put this ball back into place. And then when that ball comes up, it should seal up again. Hopefully keep it from freezing the rest of today. Snowing again, so that's fun.
Day 5 of the polar vortex. It is getting harder to get this ice chopped. It's getting to be probably, I don't know, 10 inches thick. You can see my cube I pulled out of there. I can't chop ice over on the shoreline over here because, I mean, it's frozen solid for a long way out. So I came out into the pond a little bit. The cows were a little afraid to walk on the pond, but they're thirsty, so they made it happen. I don't think they're going to be falling through the ice anytime soon. It's awfully thick. So they're getting their ices to drink. Their pond flavored ices, slushies. And then Kendall's going to bring some distillers and hay over for them. I'll help them feed that. It's snowing again, and you can see the snow is sticking to the cows' backs. That's a sign that they are insulating well, maintaining their body temperature, so they shouldn't be cold because we've been feeding them more. So it's a good sign when you see the snow sticking to their backs like that and not melting.
So we've been putting our insulated shop to work in this cold snap. It's been nice. Kendall's opening the door with his phone app, and we'll pull everything in here at once. All these warm engines. I winterized the sprayer ahead of this cold snap because I knew we probably weren't going to be able to keep it above freezing in here, and we haven't. If we had heat, we could keep it above freezing, and maybe someday we will. We've been able to keep it above 20 in here. Let me tell you what, a tractor with 20-degree oil and fuel is a lot happier than one with -5-degree oil. You know, that doesn't move very well, so it's been really nice to have this. So we've changed how we've stored some things. Since this used to be our main storage shed, here's the tractor. We've been pulling people out of the, well, and ourselves out of the snow whenever we get stuck. And then that's the backup feed wagon tractor. Here's the phone app.
I just opened up my app, and then I'll click connect here. Connected. And then you click unlock. You click either open or close.
So that's nice when it's freezing cold to not have to get out, and it speeds up.
Getting them, or
if
pulling
we're prepared.
them in, yeah, pulling them in, it doesn't save as much time because you're already getting out of the cab to close it. But boy, backing them out in the morning, I love not having to get back out.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Yeah, I was the, maybe it was because I was the last one to make it to chores this morning. I got to do the radio interview.
Greg was supposed to do it. The guy who interviewed him goes to our church. And so he was going to interview Greg, and then it got passed to Nathan. I listened to it while I was feeding.
Yeah, so did like a 10-minute interview. It was kind of
Those
fun.
guys will banter with you a little bit, so you got to be on your toes.
Yeah, never know what they're going to ask. Crosby likes the snow.
Crosby loves the snow. This is probably some of his 4 favorite days of the year.
He does eventually get cold, but it seems like, but he's a snow dog.
Yep, I have a video of him jumping in a snowdrift. It should be in either this video or the last video.
Nice. Well, it was -10. Well, one thing said -13. I don't know. Oh, well, my pickup says -12. So this was the coldest night, but also supposed to kind of be the last one. It's supposed to get up to 15 today, which will feel pretty nice. And also the wind hasn't blown near as bad the last couple nights. The wind blew pretty good during the day yesterday, but we're hopefully about to climb out of our block of ice, although there is some pretty cold in the forecast, but not what we've been the last few days. So everything's gone pretty well, but it sure makes everything more difficult. Dad's got his tractor running. It's a lot easier to film from inside the pickup, that's for sure. So we've got some filmed for you from all this cold snap and snow. Hope you've been enjoying it, because your hand hurts after running the camera. So we moved these cows the week before we knew this cold snap was coming, and they have this nice tree cover, get out of the wind, and a creek runs through here. We thought the creek would keep running, which it is, but it also froze over, so even though we have a running creek, I still have been having to chop ice. I've been doing it a couple places. Maybe should have made a bigger hole to start, but in normal above 0 temperatures, I think it'd just keep running and they just step through it or whatever, and been having to chop in this crazy stuff. There's the water for today. More snow this morning. Cows are waiting for the feed truck. Guess they knew I was coming. We'll probably feed them every day. It's good and frozen here. And then if there's a day it's not gonna freeze hard, we'll try to feed them double the day before. And then they should have picking, but they want more than just Milo stalks, don't you? That's alright, we got some goods here for you. This feed truck takes forever to open the door when it's so cold. Nice whiskers, Mama.
So I've been up to Canada quite a few times to do speaking and performing and whatnot. And what Kansas is right now, this negative temperatures, -20 wind chill, snow, deep freeze, all these things, that's what Canada is like. When you go to Canada, it's like, wow, it's so cold up here. It feels like Canada and Kansas right now. And so I know that people up in Canada, they're used to this. This is what winter is. But for us in Kansas, you know, for it to get down into negative temperatures, that's probably only happened maybe, you know, a handful of years in my life. And so it's a bit of an experience for us. We're not exactly as prepared as everybody up north is. Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.